Hi guys, welcome back to Munch Buds podcast. Today I'm your host Sam, and sorry, some of the guys do something really weird. But we have a really nice topic to talk about. I can't speak when you guys are doing this.
Get
that away from me, bro.
Come on.
But we were talking about more pertaining to our careers and our passions. And we kind of got the ball rolling already, but I'm more than happy to just continue with you guys.
Yeah. I guess I'll just continue.
Yeah, continue what you were saying.
Yeah. So I was talking about the musical Heathers based off like the 80s movie. But we were really kind of talking about the art of playing a villain because they're so not like who you are. It forces you to really truly act because you're being someone that's not you at all and you just can't relate to. And part of the reason I wanted to do Heathers is because JD, I think he's such an amazingly written male role of just an abused, like, mental health suffering kid in high school. You know, because the play starts out and he's super lonely. He sings a song called Freeze Your Brain, and it's all about a slushie from 7-Eleven. And at first it kind of is like kind of funny, and someone's talking to him. But as the song goes on, he reveals that the reason he loves slushies from 7-Eleven is because his mom died and his dad, who's not good for him, they move so much and his life is constantly changing. But every 7-Eleven, there's so many of them and they all have the same tasting Slurpee. So that gives him some comfort, right? And it's a depressing song because he's like, that's the one thing I have in my life going for me. Whenever I drink a slushie from 7-Eleven, I feel okay. Oh. And whenever he gets a brain freeze, because that's familiar to him and nothing else is. Yeah. And so then Veronica, she's doing her thing. He gets in a fight because people don't like him, blah, blah, blah. And Veronica starts dating him because she's like, oh, this guy's fucking strong. I want him to protect me. It's like, she's like turned on by it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's like the whole thing. She sees that he's a fighter, and internally he's fighting everything, and so she unintentionally kind of uses him. She does really like him, but unintentionally gets under his skin. Oh, not under his skin, but like does not help his mental health. Kind of pushes it, you know, and you know stuff goes on, and like. She goes to a party, shit goes wrong, and then she just goes to his house and like they have sex, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Okay. And he's like, "I'm down, but what's happening? I don't know what's happening." And they just do it, and then to get revenge at like these kids from high school, these jocks, her plan is like, "Oh, we'll trick them. We'll say I want to have a threesome with them, so they meet up with us, and then we can take a picture of them naked and like humiliate them at school or something because they've been such assholes." That was her plan. And he said he was going to knock them out with, like, a gun. And it had, like, tranquilizer bullets. Oh, he fucking murders them.
Oh, my God. Shit.
And then she keeps dating him. And, like, kind of supports it for a little bit. And then she breaks up with him, so his mind's broken. And the musical ends with him trying to bomb the school. He literally says, I'm going to make this prom, like, Vietnam. Oh, my God. You know, like, he's going to bomb the whole
Wait, is that really in
the show? He
says that?
I can change him.
He's just no, like that's kind of how she was. And as soon as she saw the red flag, she just gave up.
Yeah. That's a pretty clear red flag.
Have you seen it by any chance?
Huh?
Have you seen?
I actually haven't seen the movie. I know. I need to watch it. But it ends with him trying to blow up the school, and she stops him, and he kind of kills himself because he's defeated. And he's like, I got nothing going on. There's nothing for me to go back to. But I just want to play that role because I can't relate to that shit like at all, and I think
it's tough.
It's really tough, but I think like that's a lot of things people need to see is like male mental health is very real, and he's pinned because he's ignored the whole show and mistreated, and like you were saying in the last one, you know, that he gets mentally broken because of the constant because his parents taught him that life is a war. And he could never let go of that. Because when life is a war, he treats it like a war. Hence why he sees school like Vietnam.
Okay, yeah. It changes.
It's dark.
Yeah,
it's sad.
The situations of like you know, your environment, the atmosphere really changes your just view on the world because, especially, I mean, where does Heathers take place? College, high school?
High school.
High school is, I think even high school is a really young age. Our world is still very small.
Yeah.
Where, like, it kind of...
Your world is high school.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really hard to, like, look at the world in such, like, because the chaos stayed in high school, right? All that chaos, all the drama stayed in high school. If that's the world, then they can only assume one thing about the world, which eventually inadvertently affects their character harshly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, I mean, like you two were saying, I want to play a really deeply written villain because there's so much just depth.
Have you ever really explored? Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
Like, I know you talk a lot about mental illness. You know, one fictional character that, you know, everything that you described right now, you know, as you guys are familiar with the character, the Joker, I assume,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
You know, the Joker.
Yes.
You know,
Actually, no, explain.
Oh, fuck you. No, when you really explore these deep, like, just dark characters, you really try to see where they come from. For example, did anyone see the Joaquin Phoenix version, the one that came out?
I still need to.
I actually haven't watched
It's great.
It was a really good
I
film.
do
Damn
need
good
to watch
film.
it.
Me too.
I like the storyline, but it's a pretty damn good film with like acting, cinematography, choice of like music, sound.
The story of mental health, what he had to really go through that dragged him on to become the Joker, you know, throughout it.
You excited for the second film?
Making another one?
They're making it a musical.
It's a
With,
musical.
Lady
With
Gaga,
Harley
yeah.
Quinn as Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn.
Okay, that could be a little...
Wait, with Harley Quinn as Lady Gaga? Is that what you said?
No, I said...
With
Well,
Lady
that's what I was
Gaga
about to
as
say
Harley
first,
Quinn.
then I said
Yeah.
Lady Gaga as Harley
I'm pulling
Quinn.
you in.
Leave him alone. Cause now, something about villains, it's not just the fact that they are so, like, you know, their stories, how they come from. There's so many different versions of villains you can create. Like there are heroes, but at the end of the day, it's mostly about like these things: building confidence, finding or discovering proper morality, and saving the day. That's like the foundation of a lot of heroes.
I mean, there's really like three types of heroes. There's like the Captain America, Spider-Mans. They know the good thing to do always.
Right.
There's like the Iron Mans who like they have a troubled time and the dark past, but they try to do a good
redemption.
thing. And then there's like the Deadpools or Moon Knights who like anti-heroes type of deal.
Punisher too.
Yeah,
Punisher.
exactly. Who like they do the good thing, but in like the bad way. Blah blah blah. But there's like you were just saying, infinite ways for there to be villains.
Yeah, that's why like I love the villain concept so much. When I was in high school, I played Lord Farquaad.
Oh really?
No
And that is the
way.
completely opposite character. Like he's flamboyant, he's sassy, he's funny, but he is a villain, and it's just hilarious. And it's just everything about this.
Do you have a picture of yourself as Lord Farquaad?
I actually do, and I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you
Wait,
guys.
can you make that a thumbnail for the video?
Oh no, I can't.
Please, like-
maybe,
That's
but
so funny.
yeah, I love the concept of villains. They're so flexible. They come from so many different places. They and I forgot who told me this. Like villains think they are the good guys.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yes.
that's
a
what
good
makes
villain
yeah.
thinks they're doing the right.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys played Borderlands 2? Handsome
Yeah.
Jack.
Oh man, that's
not
good.
too
One of the
familiar with that.
greatest written villains of all time.
And like, when you play a villain, you kind of you have to defend them. Like when
Yeah.
you're playing them, you have to kind of like see like yourself as doing the right thing. Like he has a point here. Like to some degree, you have to agree with the villain
Yeah.
and make his like actions justified.
Or at least
Motivate.
that's a good
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah,
Agree.
but like any villain, you have to justify his
Yeah.
actions to a certain extent
I mean,
to really
I see.
understand.
Like
the
why would he
character.
do it?
yeah. I mean, like when you were doing Electricity Died, you weren't the villain, but like in the last scene, you kind of became the villain.
Yeah.
Killed someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You know, and I'm sure there was a bit of that process of like, why am I gonna go kill my mom?
Mhm.
You know, but you like had to do it, and then you played him like a psycho.
Yeah.
You were like laughing and crying at the same time. I loved it because it was
He kind of like you could see his like
torture.
his mental like journey,
Yeah.
his like
Mhm.
mindset kind of vanish into the character that he does.
Right.
By the way, Ulysses is the one who played this character in Electricity 2000. I saw it. It was great. You did a great
I
performance.
saw it
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah, seriously.
It was a very long show.
It was long. It was a
Yeah,
little
it was
long. It was a little long.
The scene I did like it, I wish the scenes weren't as long. Like the dialogue was very back and forth.
It didn't need
Yes.
to be that long.
Yeah, exactly.
That show could have been
If they
30
cut it
minutes
short, I
shorter
would have felt the
or
same,
more.
but like you would have saved time.
Yeah. But another thing I want to talk about was when Anna was picking out scenes for us, and she said that they were going to be transformational roles. I got
That's
excited,
Mhm.
but not saying like, of course they are transformational roles.
Mhm.
Yes, of course, but what I was thinking, I was like, oh, like, I was like, I want to play the villain. Like, I was like, I want to play like a drunk, like deadbeat dad or something.
You want to play what he's
Yeah,
doing.
like
You want to
like
play that.
something transformational, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a psycho or like a, like a, I don't know, just something like
Psychotic,
that. You know?
like
Like a
insane-
psychotic, insane.
insane, like.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're showing me Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was showing them the photos of me being Lord Farquaad.
Shrek, Donkey.
I'm
Lord
listening.
Farquaad?
No, but
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
I don't know. Like, I'm not disappointed in the scene she gave, but I don't know. I guess when she said transformation, I was like, oh, like she's gonna make me play like a goblin or like a like
You in the class,
Really
you,
out
you
of-
definitely do a lot of the good guy,
Mhm.
the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see why you'd want the like complete opposite.
I mean, I was about to talk
Mhm.
to Ulysses about this.
Yeah.
The scene that I got chosen for with me and Desi for our scene. Our scene basically shows our character,
Mhm.
George, him finally mustering up the courage to say something.
So
So I mean, if you are interested in if you are interested in switching, I'm sure I could like help you out with that. If you really wanted to like push yourself,
Maybe.
I'm more than happy to help out. But we gotta do it soon, you know. But yeah, so yeah, me and Ulysses are playing the same character in our given.
Oh,
we're
just
from
different
the same
scenes.
play, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's right.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf,
Yeah.
and we both play George, the
Right.
timid husband who is like the basically beta male husband
yeah.
to this very dominatrix almost wife.
No,
they're gonna-
yeah.
definitely.
I'm very happy with mine, and so I was texting Haley a lot today because we both like
Are excited.
we're both excited, but because we were talking about shows we did, and I'm sure you guys have heard of like in plays the type of roles you get. There's the ingenue, the character type.
Character type.
Not
You
a
know.
typecast, right? It's character type.
Character type, they're the goofy, crazy ones, the best friends, the comedic relief.
Yeah.
The character
Okay.
type.
Very
Okay.
familiar.
That's what I've been getting, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to play an ingenue, sure. But I love what I'm being typecast as.
Mm-hmm.
And Haley too. She gets those a lot. I mean, I was the dentist. He's the wackiest person in the show. You know. But in the scene we're both doing, it's because it's weird because we're doing the first scene and like I don't know where I came from. I came from like across the country, Wyoming or something. I don't know where she is, but I'm there to. I'm like, I'm not leaving you this time. She's like, you left me, and then I say, no, you ran away, and then she read the play, and we found out that our characters who are like lovers, on and on again, off again lovers, are also half siblings, and they don't learn that till later.
Sweet home Alabama.
But after they learn that, they don't really stop either.
Oh.
So that's cool.
Good for them.
Wow.
Good for
You
them.
know what?
Good shit.
But I'm just happy about it because both our characters are not over the top. They're not like supposed to be funny. You know, they're very different from what I play,
Yeah.
and I look forward to that. I think that would be very good for me.
Nice.
I think, I'm also excited for our scenes too.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just like I hope we get more out of this than we think. This is still a very fresh.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got-
fresh.
yeah,
we
we-
got to
yeah,
sign today.
We
yeah.
got to sign today,
It's
so
just today.
I hope we can discover more.
It's
And
true.
honestly, as being completely honest, I have a really hard time playing. So I play we play a timid role, almost like very beta male. I don't have any other better way to explain it. But then for my scene specifically, I like kind of explode into someone confident, someone who's like sick and tired of it. I really get afraid when I do bursting out emotional stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I'm really not focused,
That's hard.
I lose my
Yeah.
gauge. Yeah, I
It's
can't.
hard.
Yeah, because
Mm.
Anna said something in our class saying that like, okay, you want to be a good actor. Yeah, I mean it could be. You want to be a good actor, but there's a difference between like letting yourself emotionally loose to the point that it's not just your character being upset on stage, it's you being upset on stage.
Yeah.
Which there's
That's a
the
difficult line. to
right,
walk.
right, because exactly the reason why it's so tough is because that line is very, very thin.
Yeah.
It's very fragile.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's why I got worried. I'm like, oh man, if I'm gonna do this scene, I need to make sure that like I need to understand why my character broke.
Yeah.
And like I need to understand why like if I'm going to really show my wife why I feel this mistreatment now before like now when I could have done it before, when I could have done it later, why it now
Yeah.
is probably what's gonna like drive me.
Okay.
Which still I'm a little worried about, but
Sure.
I hope like that's what I think I'm gonna get out of it
Yeah.
for my character.
That sounds
specifically. Yeah.
That's really good, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
I think that'll be very
I mean,
good for you.
Overall, like I'm very excited with my partner. I'm really glad I got Bella as my partner. I'm really excited we both read the scene. We're so happy what we have to do. After reading the whole play today, I am a little anxious about what my character has to do. I never particularly have ever played like this villain role, so to say. I've never like I've
That's
never
really fun.
I never really played like no like I played like dicks and all that. I played
Mm.
assholes before, but I've never really played like
The
you
main
know.
The bad
antagonist.
guy.
Yes, yeah, especially with what he has to do to this other character. I've never particularly ever done it, so this is gonna be probably one if not the biggest challenge I am going to face while performing this because I've just never done it before. This is gonna be my
That's
first time
good,
ever.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Then that means that scene was perfect for you.
Challenge.
Face your
Yeah.
fears.
It's gonna be a main challenge here.
Yeah. No, I'm sure.
Feel.
I look forward to it though. I think it'll be a drastic change of pace for the class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope. Like I said, content warning and all that. Beforehand,
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
beforehand, because you gotta talk
Oh,
about
dude,
that.
yeah, the content warning.
You have to warn like things nowadays because and for good reasons.
Yeah,
but
we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about like, like if an actor were to commit to a certain role, is it because you personally feel uncomfortable just because you've never done it before, or you feel like is it a scar onto your morality? Is it like will your image, will yourself, can you come out of this unscathed? Yeah.
You gotta admit though, the people that go into roles and like have no regard for like their feelings are some.
They're crazy.
They're crazy,
Yeah,
amazing actors.
Yeah.
Like they are damn near perfect, but like at the cost of their like sanity.
A lot
Yeah,
of people
oh
say
my
actors sell their
God.
souls to like be great.
That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
I feel
Is
like
that
some-
an actual thing?
I-
Yeah,
That could
yeah,
be an
actors
actual
say-
thing.
Yeah.
I also feel like those same actors though are notoriously like fucking assholes on set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
heard
difficult to
about
work
that,
with.
yeah.
Like toxic environments.
Yeah, I mean Jared Leto on Suicide Squad.
So
He was a pain in the ass.
what was
from
that
there
all
on.
about? I heard about that. I wasn't too.
I actually
Because-
don't know anything about
So
this.
so he was the Joker in the Suicide Squad movie.
Worst Joker ever.
and
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
so
He's Joker.
he really wanted to get into the role, and he
Method
does.
actor.
He's a method actor, and so the whole time on set he was like the Joker,
Mhm.
and would say things to actors that they didn't really care for. Sometimes I think I read that he was like just naked.
He'd pull a prank too. Like
He would
give,
pull
like, live
pranks.
rats.
No, he would to their trailers, his co-stars. He would have boxes with dead rats that he give to them.
Wait,
Can I
real
just-
dead rats?
Can I just say
Like-
something
Yeah,
about this?
and no one knows where he got it from. But he
Oh.
just give it to him because he's the Joker.
Oh, I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna hurt you.
Yeah, like
Here's-
what the fuck, man?
Here's the thing, like, I'm being completely honest. How does method acting really help? I mean, a good
Everyone-
actor should be able to distinct themselves between their character and their
I mean-
reality. They should be grounded.
It's difficult because every actor works completely different. I know there's this famous story. I forget the actors' names. This was a while ago, but they were trying to film this movie, and it was these two really big stars. They never worked together. They were trying to film this this drama, and one co-star, he was method. The other co-star was not. And for this scene, the method actor, his character was drunk. So he thought he had to get drunk on set, which never would ever fucking work, obviously, right?
Not today, at least.
No.
Like, definitely not.
And so he's drunk on set, and the other co-star was getting fucking pissed. Because he's shit-faced. And they dragged him onto set, and he was shit-faced. And he had to puke and stuff. And so the non-method actor drags him aside, and he's like, "You're a method actor because you're a bad fucking actor. Because you don't know how to act. That's why you do method." He was pissed.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that's what he said.
Yeah.
I definitely think for some actors, method acting is lazy because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely not my style.
I mean, that's why I can never agree with method acting. Because I feel like, isn't the purpose of acting on set the ability to bring it out and put it back in as if it was a tool, you know? Not like, not just be like, I don't have to like, just because I want to play a wounded character doesn't mean I'm going to shoot myself in the foot, you know? Like that's, like, you should be able to, you should be smart enough to at least portray it and focus your attention towards your foot instead of actually feeling pain. And like that's why I look.
At that point, you're not acting.
Yeah, exactly.
You're literally just like insane and hurt. Like, literally.
Exactly what like Colin and Yuli said. Like that's not acting by this point. You are actually in pain.
Yeah,
it is insane.
I think there's
like, oh sorry.
No, you go.
Yeah.
No, it is insane because it's one of the most dangerous things. But people sometimes praise people for doing that. Like people are actually like, wow, like he
but
takes
they're not
that
actors.
serious.
Why?
They're
I
doing it
mean,
really
Joaquin
good.
Phoenix part of the method acting for Joker. He lost a ton of weight. He was anorexic on
Christian
set,
Bale too.
and I heard he was a dickhead on set. He was
I could imagine.
asshole, and he won an Oscar for it. And the only reason I haven't seen the movie, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying his acting wasn't good, but I am saying when you give an Oscar to someone who performs like that, who harmed his body for a role, you are supporting that negative.
They're not awarding him for his acting. They're rewarding him for his commitment.
Because it's not like he was shirtless the whole show. And I'm not saying losing weight's impossible, but he was like unhealthy.
Yeah.
Skinny,
He did it
right?
way too much.
And at that point, if it's 1 or 2 scenes where you're skinny, honestly, let them CGI it. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know,
worth your fucking body.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not worth
It's like
it.
healthy stuff. You have to be healthy.
Look at Heath Ledger. That guy lost his own life
lost
for
his life.
trying to
Yeah,
make that acting
he
so
lost his
much.
That's also
And he
part
won
of
an
the
Oscar
reason.
for that too.
He won an Oscar. Yes.
That's why that's why method acting has always been a little bit of a turnoff for me, because I'm like no one should ever pay for their life.
No.
Because like imagine Heath Ledger now. Like imagine the movies he could be in. I
I'm
would.
gonna head out for
The
it.
amount of success.
Everyone
Bonnie
say bye to
Yuli.
everyone say bye to Ulysses. He's got to head home, brother. Hey, thanks.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
That's
But,
sick.
That is I'll catch y'all later.
That was mud.
Happy
My
Easter,
man, my man.
Goodbye, butt munchers.
Bye.
Hey.
Hey, what you just called me?
Hey,
Butt munchers.
that's not
All right,
the
get
podcast.
out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Happy Easter.
Dude,
It is now.
what the heck?
Damn.
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy
Easter.
Have a good one. Drive safe.
Loser.
But I think I think if one is going to method act, I think there is a possible. It's not my style, but there's people who become the person the entire time they're on set and stuff. And I disagree with. I think that's dangerous and unhealthy.
That's just bad for yourself. Why are you
It's-
hurting yourself?
I
Exactly.
can't agree with that. And why I won't do this, I do understand the concept of method actors who, when the cameras are rolling, they're like, I am the character. I'm acting as a character. I am it.
Right.
Which is similar to,
you have to learn.
other acting, but because like Shia LaBeouf is a method actor, but he doesn't keep it in his trailer, Method acting's interesting.
Right.
It's not my cup of tea.
The concept is like I said
It's
before,
dangerous.
It's a turn off for me. And like I said before, like people who get awarded this stuff, they're awarded for their commitment, not their acting.
Which is
Right.
pretty unfair, and it's also like you're adding on to the fuel that this person's gonna go on and continue to do.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't doubt it after they film Joker 2, something happens with Joaquin Phoenix and like, you know, he starts going insane. Like I wouldn't doubt it. Like I'm not saying like something like that's gonna happen, but just
I don't understand why people think that in order to be a good actor, you have to be like almost evil and like almost psychotic. You don't have to, though. You don't have to sacrifice your mental health, your physical health for something you love to
Your
do.
life is not worth it.
Exactly.
Your health is not worth it.
Yeah.
don't die for this.
Ever.
Do you really hate yourself and love like I understand you're passionate, right? And people would die. Some people would die for that role. I wouldn't.
No.
Because I have a sense of morals that in character. I want people to know that like, hey man, just because it will make me a lot of money doesn't mean I'm gonna do that role.
Yeah.
Okay,
At what cost?
Yeah, at what cost?
Or injure yourself. I mean, that's why, thank God, a lot more like fight choreography rules are being put in place on film sets. Like they will have, I forget the proper title, but like the fight choreographer like has to be on set, like someone who is qualified to do it, or even someone to make sure people are comfortable with kissing scenes or touching scenes. Again, I forget the proper title. I learned all about
Intimacy
this.
director, I think. Yeah.
Huh?
Like intimacy director.
Yes, an intimacy like coordinator, director.
I've
That's
heard.
becoming a much bigger and
Gosh.
bigger thing because of scenes like yours, or like even just kissing things. But that's great for the actors to protect them, because I mean, especially for like women. I mean, like Sydney Sweeney's a great example. Do you guys know her?
I actually don't.
She's from
Euphoria, I think?
Euphoria. I haven't watched the show. I've heard a bit of her story, where like she accepted the role and she has like famous nude scenes in it, and I think she's a very beautiful woman, but they filmed like a lot of nude scenes with her, and some of them were really excessive, did nothing for the story, and weren't even put in the show.
Wow.
And that's
That could get-
That is it
scummy.
is really dangerous to be a woman in Hollywood, you know, because nowadays you have all these pervistic assholes.
it's
that
always
are-
been like
You
that.
know the
Yeah.
saying sex sells.
Sex
Unfortunately, we live in a world where like
where it does.
yeah, where it does. So we live in a world where like it's almost required. Like there are movies that like I notice. I'm like, they're like cleavage scenes completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at that. I'm like,
It's just
why was that there?
uncomfortable.
Like why was it
Not a
there?
good thing.
It does nothing for the
But at
story.
the same time, I'm really glad that in our current like generation, like there's restrictions being put in place, and like more things happening to stop it from occurring. Like with Harvey Weinstein, look at him. I mean, that's been going on for years, and who knows
guy.
how many women he's taking advantage of. Like,
Well, and
throughout
he's
that
one
time.
guy.
Yeah,
you know,
one
Who
guy.
knows?
There's-
Who
It
knows?
just so happened there were so many
He was the biggest
women that
fish.
spoke out
One of
about
the biggest
it.
fish, you know, and thankfully he's behind bars. So,
Yeah.
And-
As he
and
should be.
as he should.
Yeah,
be,
but
And
the scary thing is he's the one that was caught.
Yeah.
Who knows how many more Harvey
Right.
Weinsteins
Plus,
are out there right
if you
now.
look the stuff up like on Google, it's like you can find a lot of like dark things that actresses have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because they want to get their big break.
Right, I was about to say,
But
how can
sometimes,
like
though-
it's really unfortunate for women because they think that's what it takes to be famous.
and
Which
it's
just
terrifying,
sucks.
too, because sometimes it starts when they're like children too. You know, it's a whole different topic. But sometimes like those actors that have been acting as a kid and growing up, I mean, sometimes their trauma gets to them. You know, and
Of
you
course.
see a lot
Yeah,
of
what's
that
her name?
occurs.
Sam from iCarly.
Oh, Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah, she actually spoke at the school.
Yeah,
for
I
her
heard a
book.
A couple of days, weeks ago, right?
Yeah, like right before spring break. But I guess like, what's his name? The director for iCarly.
Dan Schneider.
I barely know the story, but I know like
Dude, it's a
Oh,
crazy.
dude,
What
story.
happened?
it is
What happened?
like.
I know I
You-
fucked her
You
up.
want to know
I
the
don't-
whole story? Do
No,
you
I
wanna
don't-
tell
I
it?
don't-
I don't know the story.
I know
Yeah.
parts of it. But
So here's the complete story of what had happened. So Dan Schneider, you know, he was just seen as this beloved man who wanted to give young actors, you know, their big breaks and give them, you know, the chance right there. The thing though about him was he had this incredibly disgusting foot fetish.
Right,
And
I've
Are
heard
you
that.
serious?
Yes,
On the
yeah,
audience
and,
shows,
and it
yeah.
wasn't just a basic because everyone has fetishes. Everyone has a foot fetish. Everyone has like everyone has their own thing. But the thing is though, would be very subtle about it in a
You-
kids' TV
You
show.
put it in the show.
The Nickelodeon,
If you
yeah.
think
Oh
of
my
it, there was a
God.
lot of scenes where like they would show
iCarly,
their feet.
Victorious.
Or the most
Yeah.
famous thing, I've heard some about that, but the most famous thing was like they did this thing because like part of the show is they had the web series, right?
Uh-huh.
And then there was an actual iCarly website,
Mhm.
and one week they were like, send us pictures of your feet because it's
Yeah.
funny.
Dan Schneider would be like, show your appreciation by sending pictures of your face. And people actually
my
did
God.
that. People
Yeah, that-
actually.
And it's terrifying because if you
Of
read
course
the-
they did, because
if-
they're kids. They think it's funny.
If you read Jeanette McCurdy's book, she talks about like more in details about what's been going on with Nickelodeon and how.
Really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
I heard Nickelodeon's going down the
She
drain.
brings
Hey.
up Ariana Grande too, and like I guess like one night they were invited for I think like Tom Hanks's like charade party like at midnight.
Mhm.
So Ariana Grande was there at the party, but Jeanette McCurdy declined attending the party herself. So she does generally bring up topics like that vaguely in the book and doesn't exactly outright name who's involved, but she's gone through that trauma
They
herself.
exist.
That's fucked up.
She's had one of the worst like experiences as that because she originally did not want to even be an actress. She did not want to do iCarly. She did it because financial reason. I think her mother actually like pushed her on
and
to do
that.
Her mom
Yeah.
Really?
died too. And then
Yeah,
it's, like,
she
really
had like she was
Hey.
fighting this eating disorder, and it was so hard for her because you see her in
Yeah.
iCarly, like she's just eating everything, and like watching everything back, you're kind of like, man, like you cannot watch that the same way as you could as a
Yeah.
kid.
And
It's just bad.
tough too because like Nickelodeon like let that happen for such a long time, and it's like even now it's like you have like other like directors and like producers that get away with things that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
aren't exactly stop because if you do you get blacklisted for speaking up like on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying before, why do we need to sell our souls for this?
Can
Like
we talk about more about that, like selling the soul? Like, do you
yeah,
guys
oh yeah,
believe that?
of course we could. I 100% believe people sell their souls.
Because I know Eminem has like said that specifically about how he has sold his soul. Like
Who?
Eminem,
Eminem.
yeah, the rapper Eminem.
No, we know.
Wait,
Yeah.
we know
Like,
who he
he's-
is, but he.
Like he said, like in his like songs. I forgot which song specifically. It's one of like his oldest albums, but he's outright said how he sold his soul, to make it in the
devil?
rapping industry, and he wouldn't want to bear that to anybody else.
Oh my god.
I 100% believe that so I'm Christian.
I'm
My
Catholic.
beliefs are set in stone about God and Satan.
Uh-huh.
And I 100% believe the fact that there even is a concept of good and evil in this world,
Mhm.
that you could sell what your soul is
Mhm.
to the devil, and he will help you. Because people a lot of people misunderstand Satan as red horns, really scary guy. Satan is a very, very beautiful person. He's very tempting. He's very luring.
Mhm.
He's sneaky. He's a snake. He is designed to embody temptations. It says somewhere this in the Bible where Satan is actually dressed in robes of jewels and gold and diamonds to really tempt you and kind of draw you in. So that's why I think is 100% because Satan wants to be made to look as the person that people need. That's why I don't want to sell my soul to the devil because it's not worth
It's
it.
scary.
It's
because,
It's really scary because
Do not
a
do
lot of
that.
actors and people like celebrities. I mean, I'm sure they probably must have sold their soul. Especially ones in the past were upcoming actors. So
There's a theory too, aren't they?
there's a book about it too. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a book or something about it. Then they talk about the Illuminati. They talk about all these
Yeah, a lot
aspects
of those
about it.
dark topics. Yeah, it terrifies me really thinking
Yeah.
about that.
Don't ever sell your soul, people. Don't ever sell your soul.
It's
Don't
not
ever
worth it,
sell
man.
your
It's not
bodies.
worth
Don't
it.
ever sell nothing.
Yeah. But yeah. That's why I think. That's why I think people should be careful on what practices they have because you don't know how close it is to ruining yourself.
Mhm.
And you guys are worth it. People out there, they are worth the souls that they're given.
Mhm.
You guys are worth every bit of it.
Amen.
That's why selling it is. How would you sell something like that's priceless? For what?
Mhm.
Just fame and money.
Yeah,
At the end of the-
gratification, validation.
At the end of the day, if you're not filled with love or joy, then what's the point?
Mm.
That's why.
In all
That's
honesty.
at least what I think.
Exactly.
Oh God, yeah,
Wow,
really,
wow, so
really,
we really got in
yeah, so
detail
really
there.
got in deep, guys.
Oh man, we definitely need more podcasts.
Serious,
like
of
this.
course,
This is
of course.
Fantastic.
Of course. And I think, yeah, I mean, this was a very nice special topic.
Wait, how long is the episode?
It was just 30 minutes. This
30
is a
minutes,
special
yeah.
episode for you guys.
Can you put some scary music in the background for it? Like, you should put something in the background.
If I
for
can,
it.
I will, yeah.
Ooh,
But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for joining us. This was more of a special episode where it's a little shorter, but that's because we wanted to make it up to you guys for missing spring break Thursday, and we're just really happy that you guys chimed in and listened, and I'm more than happy to see you guys in the next coming episodes.
Mhm.
Anything else to say to wrap us up?
Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you next time, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Happy Easter too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Easter's coming up.
Yeah.
But we upload this.
I'll
episode,
upload
yeah,
this before
okay.
Easter. Yeah.
Easter's tomorrow.
Good Friday Easter. Oh yeah, guys, Easter's tomorrow. Happy. I'm turning it off.
We
Should we make any final edits?
Can you love me, please?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Woo! That was good.